In the markets this week, an encore special report from our What Is series. This time focusing on a row crop many recognize but may not really know. Cotton. A while back, Hurricane Francine passed through the state. Thankfully, no major damage to the 500,000 acres we plant here. So let's take a closer look. It's a regular sight along the highways of America, especially the South. It's a staple crop for many states and countries, and is one of the most commonly grown non-food crops in history, cotton. However ubiquitous this agricultural commodity, it's also a very interesting plant in its own right. So, what makes cotton so special, and why is it such an important crop? Historically, the word cotton comes from the Arabic word kutan and was first produced in India as a clothing fiber. There are several varieties native to different parts of the world, grown in subtropical climates in the U.S., Brazil, China, Turkey, Australia, and many other countries. In the United States, Texas is the largest cotton producer, but Mississippi was once one of the largest growing regions of the world.
Cotton is a little different than your other grain crops. You know, like a soybean, for instance, you have like vegetative, like emergence, VE, V1, 2, 3, 4, R1, whatever. Well, you know, in cotton we have emergence, and then we kind of go by loosely like a node count or leaf, you know, depending on who you're talking to. And so sometimes it's referred to, you know, early season, mid-season, late season. And if you were to look at it that way, that's about 3 40-day periods, which make up about 120 days. So let's just say you're in the early season, that's gonna have your emerging cotton, and then maybe a week or two, depending on the weather, then you get your first true leaf. And then, you know, from there you start adding nodes and leaves, and then somewhere around 10, 12 node, 12 leaf cotton is when it's squaring. And then when you get more into the mid-season, is when you start to get into blooms. You know, those squares will turn into blooms. A bloom takes somewhere between 45 and 60 days to become an open boll. We have this thing called cutout in cotton. Every state kind of defines that a little differently. And so just trying to get to that point to where if anything happens at the top of that plant, like from insects, irrigation, whatever, you can stop, and that top yield is not economical anymore. So, and then you're in the late season defoliation, harvest, and you know, that's a whole nother ball of wax.
There are 4 main types of cotton that each have their own special characteristics. Pima cotton, native to South America and the American Southwest, considered the finest type in the world due to its fibers being extra soft and long. Egyptian cotton, very similar to Pima cotton, but it's grown in the Nile River Valley in Egypt. Upland cotton, the most commonly grown in the world, has short fibers, native to and grown in Central America, Mexico, the Caribbean, and southern Florida. And organic cotton, which is any type of cotton grown without chemicals and not genetically engineered. The most common use for cotton is the production of fabrics, clothing, and textiles. So what qualities make it suited for the task? It's a soft fiber, comfortable when worn next to the skin. It's absorbent and holds dye very well. It's breathable, which means it allows air and moisture to easily pass through it, so it helps regulate body temperature and keep the wearer comfortable. It also doesn't conduct electricity, so it does not produce static cling. Another use for cotton is the production of cottonseed oil, which is used in food, candles, makeup, soap, and other oil-based products. Market-wise, cotton is commonly traded both in the U.S. and abroad, and the common market factors affecting its price tend to be similar to most other commodities: supply and demand. The supplies of raw cotton fiber waiting to be refined versus the current demand for cotton-based clothing, textiles, and other products. You might think that there is always a demand for clothing, but cotton has competition in the marketplace thanks to synthetic fibers along with wool and linen. This makes the price of cotton fluctuate with current design trends and fabric needs. All in all, Cotton is an important crop grown internationally that's provided humanity with comfort, warmth, and style. It's been a staple crop for generations, and there's no sign of that stopping anytime soon.